Hello there, everybody. We're so excited. I'm here with Janet, and we're just going to do a quick little sound check to make sure that everybody can hear us. And here I am. Janet, can you say something?
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday.
Hello there, everybody. We're so excited. I'm here with Janet. And
it's always a little bit behind.
We're just going to do a quick little sound check to make sure that everybody can hear us. And here I am. Janet, can you say something?
Hello, everyone.
There you are. So we have sound. So hi, everyone, and welcome to the Savvy Business Show. I am very excited for today's interview with Mastermind member Janet Mish, who's also the CEO of AIMTAL, and she joined the Masterminds last June, I believe it was, and have had phenomenal success. She has had to make these mindset shifts that we are going to be discussing today, and as a result, she has been able to completely expand her company. She's hit her income goal like 3 months early last year before the end of the year. And so I'm very excited to have her here. So I think my first question to Janet is going to be, number one, like, how did you know you were ready to join the mastermind? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, but am I ready? Is this the right time? How did you know that that was the right time for you?
Yeah. So hi, everyone. I'm Janet Mish, as Hanneke nicely introduced me. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AIMTAL. And I actually joined the mastermind before I started my business. I had it I was a freelancer for about 2.5 years, working with a variety of clients in some agencies, and was really growing my own book of business. And, I was kind of mulling over oh man, what should I do? I don't know if I want to keep doing freelancing, if I want to go full time with the company, or if I want to create this agency that I've kind of had in the back of my mind for a year or so. And then I've known Hanneke over the years, and, she and I connected again through a couple other networking events, and I was following her, and, everything that she was talking about with the mastermind was exactly what was going on in my brain. Just feeling kind of off course and not really sure what to do exactly. And I really found that I needed some kind of structure and actually just hold myself accountable. I had been procrastinating actually getting stuff done and putting some work into creating the agency once I kind of was at the point of making that decision. So my first time I was involved with the group, it was actually one of the dinners.
Yes.
And one of my big, which we're going to get into, is mindset moment and shift was, we were talking, and I was talking through all this, and it's a really amazing group because, you feel so, you can talk about almost anything, which is really awesome. And you just feel very supported by the group, and in person and on the video chats. And so I was, kind of just rattling off and not sure what I wanted and where I wanted to be and so on and so forth. And the group and Hanneke they're like, you need to change, you are a business owner. Even though you're a freelancer, you are a business owner. And that was a light bulb moment for me that I don't think I would have come to without the group. So from that very first dinner, I was like, this is definitely what I need. I need people to push me and support me, but also encourage me and hold me accountable. So I signed up for the mastermind group, and then I think it started on a couple months to try it out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump in there before we go to your journey, because it's been such a journey. I just want to highlight here what has happened for Janet in how she knew she was ready, or how I'm seeing it happen is she realized that she got some clarity, right? She got clarity, or she was looking for clarity, we should say. She wasn't clear on what to do next. And through joining the mastermind, she was able to get clarity and then have that shift, which is the first shift that we want to talk about today, is this shift from being a freelancer to being a business owner. And I think the shift looks a little different for everybody, because we're going to say freelancer, but this can also just be, you're really good at what you're doing, because Janet was really, really good at what she does. She is a marketing strategist guru like no other. And she had this story in her that she wasn't ready to be a business owner, or that she didn't have what it took to be a business owner. And therefore she just stayed in this freelance mode. And a lot of people who come and join the masterminds are at this level where they're like, well, I'm really good at what I'm doing, but I don't have the confidence to actually go, no, hang on a minute. I am already a business owner because yes, she was a freelancer, but she was actually already running her business and having a sustainable income and all of the rest. It just was this little mindset shift that needed to happen. And she got that clarity because of the feedback of her mastermind members. And then they also, I think what I'm also hearing here is that the mastermind has really helped you and pushed you into that you are a business owner. And now we're going to pick it up on the next mindset shift that happened for her, which was actually stepping into the CEO role. So what was that like, Janet?
I would say I'm still working on it. So
yeah,
I think that's probably like has been the hardest thing to step into because I was a business of one, and I've hired a contractor to help, and like another employee, and I have people around me now that are helping with the workload for client work. So as you mentioned, it's a digital and content marketing agency. So, but it was always, before it was always coming to me. Like I got the clients, I worked with my clients, I did all the work. So figuring out exactly, like which projects I want to work on, because that's what gets me excited, but also being able to like step, upscaling my own role. And becoming that CEO, which we're working on in the mastermind, which really helps because I can definitely get like very caught up in the weeds. But I would say the biggest investment I made last year was hiring employees that are, can do what I do or even actually do things better than me. I will say like people on my team are better than I am, and that's one of my goals is to hire like exceptional people, and it's been working out really well, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, and I think that's so important to realize, right? Like not to interrupt you there, but I think this is where where if you want to scale and go to the next level and really fully step into being the CEO of your business, I think it's so important to realize that you cannot get there by yourself. And I know there's like a gazillion DIY courses online and everything that's telling you, oh, here, DIY yourself to marketing or DIY yourself to click funnels, blah, blah, blah. You can hire people in your company, in your business to do it for you. And that is their zone of genius. And then you can stay in your zone of genius. And then that is where the magic happens. Yeah. That is where you like absolutely scale and grow and just, are able to create more freedom in your business, create more time and space, but also are able to be busy with the stuff that you actually enjoy in your business. Now, how has the mastermind helped you to move more towards that being the CEO and then supporting and hiring your staff member? Here we go. So luckily I can resume. Hi guys. So we just had a little interruption there with the internet, but Janet was going to tell us about how the mastermind has helped her to step more into this CEO role. Janet, so thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So this is twofold to this question, my answer. So first off, the team, some of the women in the group have like hired employees or contractors to help them in their businesses. So having their kind of experiences to bounce ideas off of really helped me decide like who I wanted to hire and when I wanted to do that. So that was just like having that open conversation and really learning from everyone else's experience was huge. And then,
so that's the mirroring that we talk about, right? Like where other people can have this mirror and show you how it's done, but also believe in you. Like you're even when you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, but the mastermind members kind of form this community of A, they show you how to do it, and B, they believe in you that you can do it. And then the second part, sorry, I interrupted you.
So, and the second part for me, like, I know exactly what I need to do for my business, and not every little detail, that's what is helpful, but like I know how I should be structuring my weeks. But now I know. Before, like I was very like unclear, and I was putting way too much time in like areas that I shouldn't have been putting in time into. and like how to structure my days. And it was really cool because a lot of the mastermind members in my group, they all had different strategies. So I've been kind of like pulling from different people and testing different things. So lately what I've been doing is I like map out my entire week and kind of block off time when I'm going to be working on specific tasks. And really like forecasting out like my week for client work, but then also just working on my own agency, because I found that like, you know, where the money comes in is with the client work for me. So I put all my time and effort into that, but I wasn't taking a step back to really set up processes in my own business and doing marketing for my own business. So I'm actively working on structuring my time in that way so that I'm kind of like evenly split between the two. And then that's been really helpful by growing a team, because they are, you know, they're kind of like carbon copies.
Yeah.
And step in and help with the client work and whatnot, so I can kind of look into ways to grow the company and really, since it's still pretty new.
Yeah.
I'm working on my own marketing for my own company.
Exactly. And I do want to also say that, you know, so Janet joined in June last year, and and it's now January, and she has not only, you know, set up her company so that it has, like, she's gotten, you know, her LLC, I think is what you got, right? She set up her LLC, but she's hired 2 employees since then, and she's now, you know, up leveling again to expand even more. So that's massive growth. And so what I want to say here, the reason why that happened was Janet realized that she needed to work on her business versus in her business, which is what the masterminds really help you to do a lot of, which is why we discuss time management so often. Everybody gives their 2 cents, and like we all can bounce ideas off of each other. And that really helps you to create the structure that works for you, which I think is another thing that's great about masterminds as well. Like, nobody is sitting there telling Janet that this is the way you're going to run your company. She's listening to everybody else's feedback, and then she goes and she decides what is going to work best for her business. Mm-hmm. And then we are there to cheer her on and support and hold her accountable so that she continues to work in that manner. So that's just so great. Janet, you've really done such a good job of implementing all of the feedback.
It's always a work in progress. It's cool because, like Hanneke, you give us the CEO power sheet, the worksheet, and it's like a weekly reflection. But last week I found myself in this position where I was like in back to back meetings and had like no like moment of downtime or like creativity, like creating things. And like that's what I get excited about is, you know, of course, working with my clients, but then the second part is like creating exceptional work for them. And so I did my CEO power sheet a little bit earlier. I was like, what didn't work today? You know, what did work? And then how do I structure the rest of the week that I'm not feeling like this stress and anxiety and just frustration? And I think, you know, even just having like those tools, like access to those tools that I never realized, is just like taking a moment of reflection is really helpful as I'm like prioritizing, because, you know, things change during the week as a business owner, especially when we're growing and just starting out, or maybe even 5 years in, but it's constant, it's always different.
Yeah.
But I find that when I'm like putting structure in my days and weeks is when I'm really thriving. So that's something I'm definitely working on and think will be the success of growing it and whatnot, and kind of automating everything.
Exactly. Which is also another thing that we spend a lot of time at, is looking at the processes, talking them over, looking at where, you know, you need to be putting your time, where can you streamline, brainstorming how to hire, who to hire. Contracts is a big thing that we've spoken about, payment to your contractors or your employees and how you can run that out. Now, my question to you, Janet, is, or my next question to you, because I've asked so many, but what has been your favorite part about joining the masterminds?
I would say, well, honestly, like this, like recently too, like I really love like the monthly calls that we have. Like just, it's like, it's consistent, and like, you know, it's like something I really look forward to, like talking with everyone and like seeing like where they're at like from a month ago in their business. And I think the like in-person dinners are super valuable too. And I know that right now this is to Boston. You'll be doing, I think, some changes for people who don't live in Boston, but those have been like amazing for me. Like I get a lot of like a lot of value out of like having the face to face, and that has made it a little bit easier too, and a little bit more comfortable to make connections with the other women, both of them in the group. And I've been like meeting with some of the members like for coffee or drinks already this year, which is like super exciting. And I feel like I'm finally like growing we talk about like your business besties.
Yeah.
Growing that community even more and like nurturing that, which I'm really excited about because you know, I do have a business partner, which is super helpful and amazing, and I have, you know, friends and family I can rely on, but sometimes it's nice to just have business besties that you can talk to, and the women in the mastermind are great for that because they don't really have like a bias on what you're doing, and they're really in the same position too, so it's just really nice to like know I can either jump online or, you know, email someone and we can meet up in person, since some women are local to Boston.
Yeah, and I think that is really what is so great about masterminds, is that it creates this community and this connection where everybody gets to really pull the curtain back on their businesses. There's no like, I've got to prove to you that I'm so good. We can be vulnerable with each other, which I think a lot of us don't have that, right? Like a lot of people don't have that in their business. And when you're going to grow and scale to the degree that I know that you are capable of, my dear listeners, then you need this community around you that can do that and then form this collaboration, connection, and just a way to have more fun while building your business with people who understand exactly what you're going through. Now, if you were to recommend to someone, you know, and say, okay, you know, you should join a mastermind, why would you tell them to join a mastermind?
I think what we just like touched upon for sure, like number one, like the community aspect of it.
Going in and out, no worries. So you were going to tell us, like, why would you, yes, we are live again. Why would you recommend someone to join a mastermind? What would you say? Why should they join one?
The first one, we've already touched upon this, is like the community that you build, and especially of like female entrepreneurs and business owners. That's huge, honestly. And then like hearing from their experiences and being able to bounce like different ideas off them in the meetings that we have. And the second one I don't think we touched upon that I think is like really important, especially for me, is that accountability from the group. You know, like when I say something I want to do in the meetings, like I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Like I said that out loud. Like this is my commitment to myself and the group that I'm like going to like show up and do exactly what I said I wanted to do. And that's something that can be hard for me, is like holding myself accountable. I can like push things off and get a little scared. But having that support system is really helpful to like hold me accountable. And I don't know, like a lot of people feel that way too. It's really helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the reason for me, so having been part of masterminds myself, and again, I love running masterminds, and but for me also what it creates is this focus. Because there's this accountability piece and it creates this focus, and then it builds this forward momentum. And so you just get to where you want to be into your business goals much quicker because you have all the support around you. I
will say too, like having like with you, Hanneke, as a business coach, I think is super valuable because you can ask like hard questions sometimes, or questions that like, you know, we don't want to answer, but like, but we like it's the one that question that, you know, like you're gonna get to the bottom of, like, to figuring like your stuff out.
Yes. Exactly. And so
there's moments where I'm like, oh, that's a really good question. I've never thought about it that way, or like, oh, I'll approach it in this way or that way, or like I'll reach out to this person to like get some more information. And you just really it's just really helpful where you like build those connections and kind of like give that guidance to everyone.
Oh. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that feedback. And yes, I am a definite, I cut to the BS very quickly. I get quite in their faces in the mastermind groups. But again, it all is so that you can get that deeper connection, which is why I would also recommend that if you are looking for a mastermind, you should look for one that it has a certified business coach as your mentor, or not your mentor, sorry, your facilitator. I definitely also walk into the room as not the smartest person in the room. Like I learn so much from you guys on the calls, and just the collaboration and the camaraderie, because we are smarter when we're together. So really coming in with that curiosity, which is why when you are looking for masterminds, really do look like that you have a master facilitator, but also if they are a coach, it's going to be so much better for you, because like Janet just said, like I can laser coach into her very quickly, very uncomfortably, but she gets massive insights because of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So any final things that you want to say, Janet, that you haven't gotten to say yet?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think like the biggest thing is just like, it's for me when I look back, like, okay, like I'm going to take it back a little bit pretty far, but just to give people like the full picture, like 3 years ago, I was unemployed. I left my corporate marketing job and traveled to South America for 4 months with my boyfriend, and like wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And like that's pretty incredible. Like now I'm even like, wow, I can't believe where I am now. Like it's 2019, it's 3 years later, and 4 years, yeah, through both.
We're about to go in the fourth year, 2019. Yeah. we just
yeah, and I wasn't really sure. Like I was like, I want to work in digital marketing. I want to be able to work remotely, and was really like, at first didn't know how to navigate that, and then become a freelancer, and then, it evolved to starting my own agency, which I don't think like 3 years ago I think was even a possibility. And so it's pretty incredible, like to think back of that journey and like the steps I took to get there, and definitely like building a community when I got back from my travels in Boston, and then deciding to join the mastermind, and just being exposed to like all different people and like their different experiences have really helped me decide and feel really confident, really, like that I can do this, and that this is like what I want to do, and I'm excited about, and I just get excited about working with different clients, and then even just like what gets me excited too is like giving others, like my future employees, like the opportunity to like have a similar experience to me. Not the struggle, kind of without the struggle, like I already struggled for them. And do work that they love to do it, and do it from wherever. I'm building my agency, so it's all remote workers.
Yeah.
And I think like that, those two things are ingredients to like successful, happy employees and work. So definitely, like, I mean, when I look back onto like building those communities and like having, especially with a mastermind group, like I'm so happy that I was just like, this is, I'm going for it. Like this is definitely an amazing investment, and hold me accountable, really. I know I keep going back to that, but it's so important.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing I wanted to convey. I hope that made sense.
Yes, no, absolutely. And it's just been so incredible to watch your journey and to see Janet coming to that first mastermind dinner, and now the confidence and the confidence that has happened, through this. And it's been such a short time. Yeah. And I have been also lucky to see you from 3 years ago until now, and see the massive transition that has happened. So I think what we'll end with is like, start now. Mm-hmm. Invest in the communities and the tools and the resources. And then the next thing of the CEO